Hello, this is On the Sofa with me, Colson.
Jack.
Ben.
We're three people who you might know best from Corrie, but we're also three real people. And we're three real people.
We're three real people.
who love film, we love telly, and we love everything in between. It's our middle of the week show. It's called On the Box. It's where we talk about what's on the box. It's the only place to be for all your TV, film, opinions,
Musicals.
and views. Everything, all that. What's been on your tellies this week, lads? What have you been watching?
I finished the
Monsters. Yeah.
Which was perfectly ruined at work.
It was ruined at work.
Was it? Brooke Vincent texted me the other day and was like, have I been watching it? And I said no, and she said that I'd love it.
I had 2 eps left.
Yeah.
I'd done 6 and...
Let's not ruin it for
I'm not
everyone
going
at
to ruin
home.
it for anyone else.
Perfect.
I had 2 eps left and it was ruined for me. So I only had 1 ep, I think, left to watch, and somebody at work ruined the ending. They basically told me the ending, what happens.
What, just like casually dropped it?
Casually
What do
dropped
you
it
think?
in.
What do you think? This brings up a bit of a question, I think, within film and telly, because now we are getting to the stage where you're watching longer form telly, but you're binging it. So you have the ability. Someone has the ability to jump to see it before you, which didn't used to happen.
Whereas it's like, I know something you don't know.
Yeah, but where are we on? I remember a lad at school saying E.T. lives, and I hadn't seen it. And I was like, oh. So where are we on that?
Oh, no, it's shitty.
It's shitty.
It is hard.
It's really shitty. And also, it's not even people binging and getting ahead. This person had only seen 2 episodes.
Oh, I see.
And Googled the end.
Oh,
Googled the end.
That is.
And they said to me, well, of course everybody knows the story. And I went, bollocks. No one had ever heard of the Menendez brothers before Netflix did this series.
I'm
going to offer a case for the defence.
Oh, hello.
All seem to be very against.
Rise,
against
Bertie.
I think there's a slight difference with this show. I'd never heard of the crime, I'll admit, and I think there's a difference in the fact that we're in the UK. But like on BBC News, on the week it was released, there was a big article on the front page saying like the controversies of the show and the fact that it was kind of telling this story. And like very early in the article, it says what the outcome is, and it's saying, it's a really famous case. So even though we're in Britain, not in the US, I do think there's a little bit of, if it's a true crime, famous thing that's happened, then there's a
tough
little
shit.
bit of...
That's what you're saying, Bertie. You're saying tough shit.
A little bit.
That's what I'm feeling there.
I think they shouldn't have said what the ending was, but I think it matters less for this than something
like a movie where you don't want to know the ending.
And it does knowing the ending ruin the entire thing?
For me, it did. I didn't want to know.
It's annoying.
I didn't want to know.
What I want to know, Jack, you've watched it all now, though.
I've done it all.
When you first told us about this, I think you gave it a fairly average rating. I think you gave it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You finished it all now.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I'd say it's increased. I'd say it's...
By 1 or 2?
I'd say it's in the 7s.
That doesn't inspire me to go and watch it.
7.7.
7.7.
Yeah. It's good. Watch it. It's good. 8 eps, good. And it gets better as it goes on. It don't get shitter. And I think that's a hard thing.
Yeah.
Because usually they blow all the guns in the beginning. The 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th eps are shit, and then it kicks off with something.
Because you've got the beginning, the middle's baggy, and you've got a quick end.
This is the other. For me, it's the other way. It's the beginning. I'm not that interested.
Soft beginning, hard ending.
But I really liked the 5th, 6th, and the 7th and 8th. I really liked that towards the back of the series. For me, anyway.
And was there an episode that was as good as the 5th was?
The 6th one's really good as well.
It?
That's
similar.
Javier Bardem's episode.
Yes.
That's his. He's good. He's very good.
So
fucking good.
Jack's been watching the Mendes brothers. Ben, what have you been watching?
Oh no, but hang on, let me tell you this quickly. It's called Monsters, right?
Yeah.
And I've been watching it with
mother-in-law,
the fiance, and the mother-in-law.
Of course.
Right.
It's the home fixture.
It's the steady
combo.
away.
It's the free stuff.
She's
Come as a 2.
She's on the little thing.
You know when she walks her down the aisle?
What's your
will
wedding?
She stand, will they
What's
stand
your
next
wedding
to each
night
other?
going to look like?
Yeah.
She's on the poof.
On the wedding night.
Will you kiss them both on the You May Kiss the Bride?
When you wake
You
up.
May Kiss the Bride and the mother-in-law.
Bed for 3.
Yeah. So she's been going to work and telling little
mates.
co-workers that we're watching this at the minute.
Yeah.
And they went, what are you watching? She went, that TV show, The Morons.
monsters. The monsters.
The morons.
It's
From outer
morons. It's called morons. It's on the
Netflix.
thing.
It's on
Yeah.
the
And they
Netflix.
go, and then she's Googling it, morons, Netflix.
So, Jack, you've been watching Monsters or Morons. Ben, what have you been watching?
I actually got to watch a film with my wife, which is an unusual occurrence.
The film, cinema.
No, we did the home fixture because we couldn't get in.
Candles?
No, lights off, which is controversial.
Daytime, nighttime?
Oh, it's always nighttime.
Yeah,
Can't do it in the day.
Yeah, you
can't,
do it in
see
the
a
day.
film in the day.
Psychopath.
But nighttime. But some people, my wife likes a corner light on.
Does
I
she?
don't.
Like
Oh,
a
no,
lamp?
I like nothing.
Nothing.
Maybe a candle.
No,
I like a candlelight.
I love
candlelight.
candles.
no, I'm not big. I don't mind a candle, smelly candle. It's got to be dog blanket,
You're
not much
too
light.
scared of not blowing the candles out, aren't you?
Sometimes, yeah. No, I don't mind that. It's just more the old, I like the candle, whatever. We've normally got a fire on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire gives you enough. That's
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, yeah,
She likes a little corner light. I don't. So anyway,
Anyway.
we found a film she was into. Blink Twice.
Just come out of the cinema.
Just come out of the cinema and on Apple.
Oh, is it?
Zoe Kravitz directed.
Yeah.
Lead guy is, and I forget his name, the one from
Channing
Tatum.
Tatum. Yeah. Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. You've seen it as well, Jack.
Yeah, I did cinema.
Shot brilliantly.
Yeah.
I think my dad said this was great as well.
Shot really well. Although, now, this is why I'm putting it out there. I thought great 3/4, baggy end. I thought it's a film that's had a great premise, and I think this happens a lot, and I think this happens a lot now in streaming. You get a one-line premise for a film.
What is that one-line premise?
Rich billionaire does something to apologize for and goes off and lives on an island.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you know. Then this rich billionaire is obviously a philanthropist and is giving money to some art project. There's a girl there who's absolutely, I'll find her name, but she's fantastic, the lead girl. She's serving food and drink to the people, but she really wants to meet him. She's fascinated about meeting him. And he then says, hey, look, we're kind of going on after. Do you want to come to my island? And takes her on a private jet. Then it gets a bit darker. Christian Slater's in it.
Yeah, he is.
Hallie Joel Osment's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Crazy.
I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. And let me just find out what the lead girl is naming, because she's English.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she went to Lambda, I think.
Adria R. Jonah, is that it? Or Naomi Aki?
Naomi Aki. Let me just make sure.
They're both really good. They're both friends that go together.
Yeah, there's Naomi Aki and Adria. So Naomi Aki is like the girl who's serving drinks at this, and she gets invited, but she really wants to go, and she takes a mate. And then all it is the billionaire's got loads of money. You get your own clothes. You haven't had to take anything. There's all food. It's amazingly made, but there's something going on.
A bit Menu-esque.
Yes,
A bit Midsummer.
Okay.
a bit Midsummer.
Yeah,
So
okay.
an interesting premise.
Yeah, I like it.
There's something
I wanna
going on.
watch it.
Yeah, there's
I wanna
something going on.
watch it.
It's shot brilliant. She's done she wrote it, I think, and part produced it.
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz done a brilliant job, but I just felt the end, I won't spoil it, but it wasn't as
Good as it could have been.
no, I don't think it was as punchy as it could have been, but it's definitely worth a watch. I enjoyed it. We got quite scared.
Did you? I've seen it's a thriller. I'm going to put it on my list. I've
good.
watched 3
It's a
films
thriller.
this week.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a quick rundown of 2 of them, and then we'll go into detail on one. So I watched The Night Riders.
What the fuck is that?
Is it The Night Riders? No, it might not be The Night Riders.
Tom Hardy,
Yeah,
motorbikes.
Tom Hardy, Austin Butler,
Oh,
and
I've
Jodie
watched
Comer.
that. Awful.
Wank. Great cast. Fucking boring.
And that's what's amazing. It's a great cast.
Yeah.
And it's toilet.
Yeah, it's shite.
Okay.
Comer, brilliant. Hardy, good. Butler, good. But it's just shite. It's
Crap film.
boring, isn't it?
The premise is
slow.
it's set in what, the 50s,
Yeah.
60s, something like that. Premise
Start
is
of like Hell's Angels.
start of that type of thing.
Wild one.
Yeah, here
Jodie Comer.
them 2 are bike boys,
Yeah.
and Jodie Comer is a girl who falls in love with,
Austin Butler, who's not the guy you fall in love with.
even though he's unbelievably attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is the guy you fall in love with.
But
Yeah.
he's the
But he's
he's the-
dangerous.
He's the one who can't be tamed.
But he's
He's like a
dangerous.
James Dean type
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, Marlon Brando, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he's got sort of Brando is,
Hardy.
Hardy.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the gang. And he's his
Leader of the
Number
pack.
2.
Yeah, and he's his little disciple, his
Yeah.
little mate. And there's no point to it.
No,
There's
it's-
no
nothing
point
happens.
to the film. They kind of drive around on bikes and it's
beat
her
people
telling
up.
her story
And it's shit.
to a news guy of
Yeah.
like, one day he was going to die and one day he was going to live, and that we didn't know what day it was. The end.
Yeah,
And it's
all in an
just-
accent.
Don't see it.
It's not worth a watch.
What was the other film?
The Watchers?
Yeah.
Basically, there is a woodland area in Ireland that
It's a bit like a Bermuda Triangle
Okay.
in Ireland, in this
Yeah.
wood.
there's something
Shit goes in it and shit don't come out.
You don't come out.
Right?
You don't come out. This girl's got a task that involves going through it. She gets stuck, Ben. She's stuck in the woods.
She's stuck in the woods.
Yeah. Shit goes down.
You always go to ham in your synopsis. Why don't we just play him a trailer?
Yeah.
You'll get a feel.
What is happening? What is this place?
I don't mean to scare you, but we haven't much time. It's not wise to keep them waiting. They'll be very interested in someone new,
It's a window on the other side. They come every night.
and they'll watch us.
What is that? What are they doing?
Applause. For you, mean it.
So that's the other thing I watched.
And what's that available on?
I
think that's your Apple in it and your Amazon.
Oh, it's a rental, not a cinema.
Yeah, it's a rental.
Let me have a look.
It's been at the cinema recently.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but I watched it at home on TV.
Apple TV, $4.99.
There you go.
I might watch that. Is it worth a watch?
It is worth-
Yeah,
it is-
$4.99?
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
Great.
For Halloween, if you're stuck,
Yeah.
have a go with that.
Have a go.
It's an interesting premise.
Mm-hmm.
You're not quite sure. So you're not quite sure if it's monsters. You're not quite sure if it's humans you should be afraid of. You're not sure who the bad guy is. It's quite good.
Well shot? Well shot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to give
Good
too much
actors.
away.
All A24 stuff is well made.
Is that who it is? A24.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I really liked, and this is a weird niche to like. I like it when you kind of semi can expect the twist, but when the twist comes, it's
And
just
it's a
slightly different to
Slightly
what
off,
you were
and it's
expecting
a twist
it to
on a
be.
twist on a
Yeah.
twist. Yeah.
And I like that because
Twisted.
I'm like, I knew that was going to happen,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that was going to happen.
That's exactly where I
Yeah,
was.
I like that. Next week, I want us to sit down and watch a film and come in here and do it like the olden days because it's Halloween.
It is.
So we want a scary film.
The olden days.
Yeah. I want something scary. I want to be scared. What have you got for me?
I've got, well, the original scary movie, Nosferatu.
I thought you meant like scary movie then, as in
No.
sitcom.
No.
What, Nosferatu? Isn't that what people?
Hello, it's Nosferatu.
Isn't that what people
the way
do
you said that
on
sounded
keys?
so unscary. What are you watching tonight? Nosferatu.
What is
it
it?
follows Count Orlok, basically
It's
vampire.
Dracula,
It's
isn't
Dracula. Count
okay.
Orlok, Max Schreck summons Thomas Hutter, Gustav van Wangelheim to his remote Transylvanian castle in the mountains,
It is Transylvania.
Is this in black and white?
and it's silent.
It's silent.
It's silent.
but do
black
they
and
have
white.
music?
Yeah, we've never done a silent
Oh
film.
no.
It's the original. It's the original horror.
It
film.
is the original horror film.
Was it the first film? No. Wasn't the
First
first
film
No,
ever?
no. It wasn't the first film, but it was
How
the first
old
horror.
is? How old is it?
1934.
Oh, I thought it was older than that.
That's old.
1922.
Oh,
is it?
1922.
Over 100 years old.
1922.
Are we going to be able to find it?
Yeah, you
on
can find,
Apple.
you can rent it on Apple, $1.99.
Right. Wow. That's gonna be a hard watch for me, isn't it? I have a fear that's gonna be a hard watch.
Well, you've already set it up as that, and
Just see.
I've just
I've
try
still
and
got
open your mind.
PTSD from Giant in 2001.
Oh, no, come on.
Do you know what else I've got PTSD from? These bloody quizzes, because I'm shite at them. And we're about to take a quick break, but you know the drill by now.
I do.
These Wednesday episodes, we have a quiz. We hear a noise from a film, and you have to guess where the noise is from. Bertie, let's have it.
So yes, we play you a film or TV sound effect clip.
Or
And,
TV, that's new.
well, we're keeping the
it's
options
obviously a
open because
TV
if
show
one
this
week, if one
It's a
week we
TV
do them
it's a
as
TV show
this week.
if one week we do a TV show and you all go, oh well, you never said TV in the past. That this is exactly the
that's the
reaction that we'll
caveat.
get.
It's TV.
And you just got to guess what the clip is. So here is this week's clip.
One more time. Let's do a quick break and we'll come back and we'll guess what that clip is. We're back from the break. Let's hear the clip that we had one more time.
That sounded, it's not it, but it sounded like, you know, when the Predator's
That's what I
triangle
was
comes
thinking,
in,
yeah.
it sounded like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is that.
No, I
It's
don't.
definitely sci-fi, isn't it?
We didn't have the Predator last week.
We had the Predator last week.
Yeah.
yeah,
we
so
did.
it's not that.
It's making a noise.
Yeah.
It's that first slap and then
Where it's like the lock-on thing it was.
clue, please, Bertie.
1960s.
Ooh.
Oh, I've not got a fucking open.
Ooh, 1960s.
Sci-fi era, 1960s.
It's not sci-fi.
It's not sci-fi.
It is relatively grounded in reality.
But it's from the 60s.
It's got to be a Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
Ham hock.
We've
It's
pivoted.
got to be a ham hock.
It's got to be a ham hock.
It's
start.
gotta be.
I might have that at your wedding, actually, the ham hock.
Look, even
iconic
though I'm old, I wasn't
birds.
born in the 60s.
Iconic scene from the 1960s, and I'd focus more on the noise after the little bang.
Is it a TV show or a film?
This is a film. It is hard this week.
Okay.
It's an
what is it?
iconic scene, but it is quite hard.
Okay, what is it?
So here is the reveal.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to
I expect you to die.
It's Bond when he's tied to that
Tied to
table.
the- Yeah,
with
the
his
laser,
fingers,
his balls.
the laser in his
No,
balls.
Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
So there we go. It's the laser from that scene.
Very good.
And
Very
the
good,
little clip sound at the start is when it sort of
starts off.
starts up or
It
hits
starts
the table.
up.
It is a
Sean
laser.
Connery. The
That's
laser.
hard,
It's
that.
going to cut him in two.
That is hard. Well done.
Is
if
that
you've got
Doctor
that.
No?
That's Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
No,
I've
Mr.
seen it as well.
No,
I've seen
Mr.
Goldfinger. Obviously.
Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Good
Love
line.
that. Good line.
Well done to Ollie at home that got it right. I mean, there is no proof. There's no Ofsted regulating them, is there, to check they're not cheating?
No, we're not doing that.
So if,
I'm not going to everyone's house and just seeing they cheated.
Yeah.
If you got that right,
Well done.
and right in. If you got, and I don't believe you, but if you really genuinely did, say you did, because I'll be amazed.
It's easier to work it out, I think, and listen.
On the
We've
radio.
said this before.
talking of writing in, Kenny wrote into us last week, and today we've got another great one. It's from Sally, mine and your friends, Jack, but not a friend of Ben.
We don't get on. She runs the deli.
She does. And Sally says, Sally here from the deli. Jack recently mentioned Robert Shaw's Indianapolis monologue in Jaws,
Oh, yeah.
which may be my all-time favourite movie scene. When I'm flipping through TV channels and Jaws is on, I always watch at least that part of the film.
Yeah, before going off or something.
Same thing with the Layla montage in Goodfellas. Is there a movie scene that you will always watch, even though you've already seen it countless times? One that always draws you in. Thanks, Sally. Hannah Montana.
The Quint monologue is good.
I always thought the bathroom scene in The Shining was very good.
For me, the scene in that is
Through the door.
no.
No.
It's for me. It's the walk up the stairs.
The staircase.
where he's going up the
Forward,
stairs,
back.
and she's got the bat. For
And
me,
she's
it's that.
the forward and back on the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Really
Really like the grilled cheese sandwich scene in Chef.
I like Robin Williams' scene with Matt Damon where he's explaining about him meeting his future wife for the first time. and he gives up the baseball tickets. Do you remember? And he talks about the baseball. Have you ever seen Good Will Hunting?
You haven't seen
He
it.
hasn't
We
seen
need
it.
to pick that.
Apparently, it's a good film.
It's a good film.
Yeah.
It's a very good film.
He won the Oscar for that.
Yeah.
It's a really good film.
I don't want you to completely brush over that mention of that scene in Chef,
Yeah.
because I don't think there's a scene in cinema, or more specifically the cooking scenes in Chef, that make food look so good on camera.
Yeah.
The scene where he's cooking
I do, yeah. Right at the top.
just that late night pasta for Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
where it's just a bit of garlic and some olive oil, and it makes it look like the most delicious thing you've ever seen. It's so good. It's a
Yeah.
brilliant film.
It's a great film. We've
John
watched it on
Favreau,
the podcast.
isn't
John
it?
Favreau. He started it and directed it. You didn't like it, did you? I don't
It's an
think.
awful film.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourites.
I don't give a fuck how you fucking cook food.
We're not buying
It's
a
a
food
fucking
truck
terrible.
together.
It's a fucking terrible.
We're not
film.
buying a food
It is a
truck
fucking
together.
terrible film.
Can I say my scene?
Yep. Haven't you just said it?
No, I said chef
Cooking cheese,
grilled
yeah.
cheese sandwich. Probably from my favourite scene, the parasite upstairs downstairs with the staircase when they come
drop
back into
kick.
the house,
The
and
drop
the drop
kick.
kick and that whole montage of locking him down the stairs and them living in the house. That bit where it happens quickly on the stairs, and then you hear the noise. That's a good scene.
The Manor truck in Back to the Future with Biff in his car and Mike McFly on the skateboard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a film that's not. I'm trying to think of what I've been watching recently, and I've been watching Akira Kurosawa's films, and I've been watching films where there's a fight in Yojimbo, and he's on his own, and he has to take them all on, and they don't know how to fight, and he does. And it's interesting because the actor does know how to use a sword, and they don't. And it's obviously in one take, and they're obviously got swords. And I just remember being really set by there's a scene also that I thought was fascinating. He's on his own, and he's basically, do you know Yojimbo? So it's a guy who just goes into villages and just rents himself out as a kind of gun for hire. So it's where all Westerns have come from.
Yeah.
It's where most big directors have said, if you're into a fighting film.
It's samurai.
Yeah, but he's a wandering samurai.
Yeah.
And there's a shot at the start, and it's just him in this village, and he's working out which side to go to, left or right, and whichever one he goes to will pay him, and they'll win. And he's just sat there, and they have to run up and sort of try and get his wares, trying to offer.
Yeah.
I think something like, it's not one of those big things. I know what people are wanting. The film that you go, it's going through the nightclub when you're meeting,
Blade.
Yeah, or, you know what I mean? Or
The nightclub shot in Goodfellas.
yeah, where you go, it's not that.
The
Or
usual
in
table.
Mean Streets when he's on the dolly
Yeah.
and he's going through like that. It's not that, but
I think the way the three of us watch films, especially you two, I think you're less likely to just watch a certain scene or a certain aspect of a film.
No, but I know what that.
I know
You get-
exactly what they
yeah.
mean. I mean,
But
there is
you're likely, you will quite happily, if you get a night to yourself, you will quite happily stick one of your favourite films back on and rewatch it, won't
Yeah,
you?
but I get the question. The question is there a film that sticks out?
Yeah.
Because she's saying that Quint speech in Thing that's a most memorable part for her in the film. So if the
Yeah.
film flicks on,
You go,
she'll work out if that
Has it
scene's
been
been
on
on
yet?
yet or
Yeah.
not. She'll wait
there
until
are-
that
there
scene
are-
and then maybe flick off. And I've done that before.
Yeah, but there are brilliant when Hoffman's cooking the eggs with the kid. There are brilliant,
Yeah,
there are
in,
brilliant
Kramer.
scenes which tell you a lot, which aren't massive set pieces, and that fascinates me because that to me is filmmaking. But then
When you mentioned
The
Kramer,
raptors in the kitchen in Jurassic Park. That was good.
we've just been doing some very serious film chat there. And now I would like to invite you into a slightly more serious environment, which is my smoking shelter. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I just wanted to inform you before we got started this evening, gentlemen, that I've had the head of RADA on to me this week. It's one of the most prestigious drama schools in the world and the country, and they rang me up this week. She was very threatening. She was very angry. She was terrified that RADA is soon going to be redundant, and it's all because we're making every drama school ever redundant with this feature that is Tricks of
Someone
the
at work
Trade.
in the costume department heard our Tricks of the Trade when we talk about costume.
Oh, yeah.
Thought it was brilliant.
Yes. Did they say, why are you not talking in your accent, Ben? Did they say that?
No, I now find it funnier that you do it and we don't. So that's why I'm not doing it now, because it makes me laugh that you've stuck to something.
Well, this is a section where we reveal a tip or a secret from the world of film and TV. And Ben, take it away.
My trick of the trade this week, and I thought about this today while we were filming, is something that people don't talk a lot about. And as you get a bit more experience, you understand the rehearsal. which some people use well and some people don't. So some people understand what the rehearsal is.
Now, you've been on set with both of us today, so we are the some people here.
Okay, so I'll take the scenes I've done with you two today. So one scene, I can't really talk about what they are because they're quite important to Corrie, and I don't want to give any.
Yes.
One, you entered Coulson.
Yes.
And you had to do something as your policeman.
Yes.
Two, the second scene, Jack had to give a speech.
Yes.
Yours was a bit more
Actiony.
Actiony.
Yeah.
And Jack's
Police things.
was basically a monologue.
Yes.
Now, what I'm talking about in the Tricks of the Trade is how you use a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Some people give their full performance on the rehearsal, then when they come to the take, there's not much there or it gets worse, which I would suggest, Coulson, was you. Yes. Great in rehearsal. When we came to the action, it slightly fell apart.
Yes.
I'm spent. And everyone then says, oh, it's quite a famous line in filming. We've all heard it. Oh, we should have shot the rehearsal.
Yes.
Because you had a bit of a stunt.
Yes.
There was a bit going on.
Yeah.
And the stunt.
And then I couldn't remember the order.
You couldn't remember the order. Stunt didn't work. Then you couldn't remember the order again. Stunt did work, but you got the order wrong. And you didn't grab a piece of your body.
Yeah. Oh,
then we had to shoot it again.
Yeah.
Jack, rubbish on rehearsal. Well, didn't really have a rehearsal.
You don't rehearse,
Not
do you?
much.
You just mumble.
Not much, but was getting there. It was a big speech. Getting there, I had to do a little bit of me. Then it was on to Jack. Nothing in the rehearsal. And he was plotting it in his head. I could see he was plotting it in his head, thinking where the cameras are, waiting for the camera that would be on him for his close. Nailed it. And that's what I'm talking about. The trick of the trade is how certain actors use a rehearsal and certain actors don't understand the difference between the rehearsal and the take.
Yep.
If you have, sometimes I've seen this a lot, and you must have seen it. If you're rehearsing an emotional scene, someone will rehearse the emotional scene and cry.
Yeah.
And when it comes for the take,
Nothing there.
nothing there. And then everyone goes, oh. Say you're doing a wide shot and you haven't done your close. You've cried your eyes out. You've got nothing for the close.
Yeah.
So it's the technique of using the rehearsal.
Also asking the first assistant director or the director,
what are the shots?
What are the shots?
Yeah.
What does he want to do?
Yeah.
And usually if it is an emotional scene or something, the director will probably say to the actor, I mean, it's up to you. Do you want me to do all your bits first? Or do you want me to turn around and get everybody else's reactions and leave you to last so that you can be fully prepared with the dialogue?
You'd always want to do it first, wouldn't you?
Usually.
Sometimes not.
But I was unsure about it this time. The thing that made, because I was unsure of how much I knew. So I wanted to make sure I 100% knew, because it was a big 4-page monologue, as Ben said. And I wanted to be categorically be certain I knew it all.
Did you use cover and
before it
check
was on
for
me.
4 pages?
I did do cover and check. Always.
Yeah.
And you know what? It works.
It's a trick of the trade.
It works 100% of the time.
But I did opt for me first because for 2 reasons. Well, for one reason mainly. It was to give everybody's reaction when they turned round onto them. They would have seen the true reaction. They would have seen
what
it was.
Yeah.
Because they'd have got all my stuff first and then turn round onto them. I can phone it in when the cameras are on them.
Yeah.
And
so they did give you the choice.
they gave me the choice.
of whether it was on you first
or
on
everyone
you
else.
second.
Yeah. And I said, can you do me? Because then at least when it turns around onto everybody else, they would have seen what I am going to do. Rather than me phone it in for
And then you give a totally
their
different
reaction
performance.
so that they haven't
Yes.
seen it. And then I give a completely exactly Coulson a different performance.
But then that's different. Then that's another trick of the trade, isn't it?
That's, yeah.
Is the shot on you first or the shot on you second?
I would almost argue this trick of the trade is more experience, isn't it? Like understanding.
That's what Ben was saying.
Yeah.
Well, that would
Understanding
be
when
a
and
trick
how.
of the trade.
Yeah.
It's the trick of the
because
trade.
you have been in the trade a while and you
Yeah.
think, oh, that's a trick I know.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was just rusty today. I've not been in for time. And then I came back in and I was like drowning.
And on that bombshell,
And on that note, thanks for listening.
thank
Yeah.
you.
We're back on Friday where it's free for all Friday. And this week, we really are going to be free for all, aren't we, boys? We are in that
down.
mud bath. All three of us.
3
together.
for all.
Yeah. And Jack and Ben are rubbing the pink mud all over me. We're back Friday. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bring your mud.